If you don't want to sift through the entire review video, you can watch this and get the full note-taking experience. There are two pens available, the stock pen and the Remarkable Marker Plus. For this video, we are going to use the Marker Plus. So we'll just latch that onto there and continue the video with this one. This is the one with an eraser. It's a little bit more weighted and it's a lot more coarse. We're just going to look at every single one of these options. X exits the entire application, so that'll just take you right out. This is a minimize wheel, so it'll just kind of pin in or out like that. And when you click here, you have ballpoint pen, fine liner, etc. We're just going to go through every single one of these and put these on a relatively thick setting so we can see what they all look like. So we can write ballpoint. Next one is fine liner. And then marker. Pencil. And this is where you actually get your tilt, so you can do some shading. A lot of the other ones do not do that. Mechanical pencil. Paintbrush. And highlighter. Once you are on something like the paintbrush, you can click on here and you get thin, medium, thick, black, gray, and white. So black will look like this. Then you have gray, which is a 50% opacity, and you can't really see white, so what you'll have to do is actually make your background black by doing something like this, and then you can write white, which is essentially just the eraser effectively. Now with the stock pen, you only have the option that is software driven to do erasing, and you have to click on that twice to get the drop down. You have eraser, which is the eraser like that. If you click again, you have area selection, in which case you can isolate an area and it goes away, or you have erase all. But with the Marker Plus, you actually get the ability to flip it over and do your erasing there. It's not one touch like the Sony or Fujitsu, it's actually a swipe scrub like that. And you can use the edge of it as well. And if you zoom in to, let's say, 500%, you can actually use the edge of the eraser and get a fairly detailed erase. Now, it's not super detailed as you'd think it would be, like a super fine line. If you want to achieve that, you actually have to use the tip and the eraser function, in which case it would just look like this. Now, another tip for doing a fine erase is actually choosing the marker and choosing a thin line with white. And why you do that is because you're now able to get a much thinner erase line than you would using the back of the pen. So that's a little bit of a trick if you want to do some fine erasing. Say you're drawing something and it's super technical like my beautiful farmhouse here. What you do is you choose the area selection tool, in which case you can select the entire area and you can start changing it. Now you can expand or contract it, but unfortunately you can't change the actual aspect. So you can only ever make it smaller or bigger. You can't stretch it. You do have a rotate, however, and you have a copy or cut. So you can cut it and then press the pen where you want it to go and then tap out, and then you are all good and you have pasted it. You can also clear your clipboard if you have it set to your clipboard if you want to undo your copy, or you can just press the undo button, which is right there, and that will delete everything entirely and you can go back a certain amount of steps. Layers is one of the coolest parts of this device, and why that is because if we add a layer, for example, layer 1 is our house. So if we now go to layer 2 and we choose, say, the paintbrush on gray with a thick line, you're thinking, oh no, you're destroying your house and there's no turning back. I've now destroyed it entirely. Even if you were to use the eraser, any sort of eraser, the area select tool, the back of the pen, etc., you're only actually affecting the topmost layer. Your bottom layer is safe. You can go down here and you can actually delete the layer you're working on, and you see the house is completely untouched. This is very good because this allows you to get a portable Photoshop level experience on the go, and it's an e-ink. Once you have your layers in place, you can actually move them up and down respectively based on which one you want to work with. Also, you can click on template, and you have a ton of different templates. Not only do you have a list of all, you can also subcategorize them into creative, grid, life, organize, and lines. So once you click on something, say dots, you click on it, and it gets applied right away, and there's your dots. You can also change the template live anytime you want, which is really nice because there's a lot of devices like the Sony, the Fujitsu, which are great note-taking devices, but they only allow you to choose the template at the very beginning of your note-taking experience, and they don't allow you to alter it midway through. Send by email is very useful because it's basically that. You just type in your email address here, add the message, set file name, and you can actually export it into PDF, PNG, or SVG. Once you've done that, you can send exactly what you've made in an email. Further exploring, we have set to landscape view, and basically what that is it just changes the UI elements and moves them over to the side. Nothing's really changed otherwise, it's just the UI elements have shifted, and if you select portrait view, they just move back. Clicking page overview basically just allows you to see an overview of all the pages you've made, things we've said hello, some test drawings, our little drawing we do for our video entries and stuff like that, and basically it's just a quick way to navigate in between all the pages instead of just swiping left and right and hoping you land on what you've written. New page creates a new page, but really all you need to do create a new page is just swipe and you've created a new page, or you can actually edit the name of the notebook and call it whatever you want. Peter's note. Probably the most useful part of this whole device is being able to change handwriting into text. We're just going to do some tests here. Peter is using this device. Once you're done that, you go down here to the arrow and you click convert to text and send. What that does is automatically converts everything on the page that you've written in English to text right there, and it says Peter is using this device, exactly what I wrote. From there you can send it, or you can actually select all the pages that you want to convert, so you can actually backtrack and convert pages you've already previously written. So this should say hello as well, which it does because that was a previous page. So once you're done backlogging everything you want, you can click send, and much like the send to email, you get the send to email. Send to add an email address, set the subject, and away it goes. This is a good way of having to send it immediately to any device. Basically, you can access email from your phone, your PC, etc. That's basically everything you get in the note-taking experience. We've gone through every single selection on this device, and if you guys want to see more, you can stick around to youtube.com/goodereader. If you have any other questions, comments, or concerns, leave them down below. And for a note-taking wrap-up of the Remarkable 2, this is Peter.